Well, tonight we're going to fill the show with a little song and dance. Not us, of course. No, if you're looking for singing and dancing in St. Louis, well, there's a place you can reliably find it every summer for 90 years. Patrick Murphy tonight has a story about a place that's been around so long. Well, it's nice we have an anniversary to remind us just how special it is.
It's hard to imagine summer in St. Louis without the Muny. The first shows were performed between two oak trees on a grassy hillside in Forest Park, attracting huge audiences and nationally known performers. Over the years, the original rustic venue grew into America's largest outdoor theater with a gigantic stage and 11,000 seats, 1,500 of them free seats. And now, as the Muny celebrates its 90th season, it holds a special place in the hearts of generations of St. Louisans.
St. Louis certainly does love this theater, there's no question about it, and I think it's just a result certainly of the 90 years of musical theater that they've been able to enjoy here, because parents bring their children and grandparents bring their grandchildren. There's first dates that take place here. There's marriage proposals that have taken place here at the Muny as well. So it's just a place that St. Louis comes to gather.
With 7 shows in a season, deadlines are tight. There's a lot of work to be done, because when one show is actually playing here on the stage of the Muny, the cast and crew are preparing for the next 1, maybe even 2 shows. It calls for a wide range of skills and crafts to be able to put that together, and a lot of coordination among them to make every opening night a success.
It is a small army. It's because it's like 30 stagehands, and it's 30 musicians, and it's 75 actors, and it's 20 dressers backstage, and it's a lot of people. I mean, it is an army, and how to get them all sort of focused on what it is we're doing. They have to be talented. That's the most important in what their discipline is going to be. Then you want people who are also going to be able to handle what this is, because this is not a normal. I mean, there's some very gifted directors I would love to hire for the Muny, but they couldn't do a show in 11 days. They wouldn't understand it 11 days. They would want 6 months, and then they'd want, you know, a 5-week rehearsal period.
So to celebrate the big 9-0, the Muny staged a special show, 90 Years of Muny Magic, a musical journey of its best performances, from grand opera and operettas to Broadway shows and rock musicals.
5, 6, 7!
And don't forget the kids. Lots of kids.
In this particular case, it's the 90th anniversary of the Muny, so we cast 90 children in the show, 1 for each year of the Muny. And there's nothing that makes the audience, I think, more excited than seeing a kid up on the stage who is just so thrilled to be there.
Everybody, part of the process, listen, part of the creative process is all these changes, and you're doing a great job, but there's 7 different parts, so everybody's got to think, right? To put it together to see how the whole thing looks, right? So hang on to all those changes, and we're on.
It's not easy to become a Muny kid. It takes a lot of talent, dedication, and hard work.
We have our audition at the end of February, early March, and we have had as many as 1,200 children show up. So every child that is fortunate enough to be selected to be on this stage knows that. They know that they are the chosen few. I'm sorry I couldn't have 90 children of my own, but I get to borrow them for a while, so that's fun.
Behind the Muny stage is a virtual village of craftsmen building sets and constructing scenery. And to fill a stage as large as this one, everything has to be big. The Muny doesn't have a curtain, so a crew of painters creates giant booms that serve the same purpose as a curtain, revealing the stage at the beginning of the shows. It's a special kind of artwork, serving a very specific purpose.
You have to accentuate things more, you exaggerate, you have to use color more in a more dramatic way.
Because it's artwork for thousands of people.
Yes, it has to be seen from really hundreds of feet for the people at the back as well as the people up near the orchestra. So you're painting for both areas of the house.
And then there are the props. Everything from tea sets to furniture, guns, bookcases, bicycles, you name it. The prop crew is responsible for either finding them or making them and getting them on and off the stage for the actors at exactly the right time. And after 90 years, the Muni's collected quite a few props.
Right now we're underneath the West rehearsal stage at the Muni Opera, and this is where we have all of our furniture props stored. We also store stock props for certain shows like Annie, Peter Pan, shows that we do every 5 or 6 years. We'll store the whole prop package under here, and then when they call for the props, it's easier to pull it together and put it together.
About how many props have you got here?
Well over 100,000 pieces of props.
So up close, these look sort of like books, but from the audience, they probably look a lot more realistic.
Yes, they do. What we did is, for these, is we took and made a plywood frame and cut them out and covered them with muslin, fabric, and then the painters went and painted them up. This was for High School Musical here. So that instead of loading it up with a lot of heavy books, this way it's light enough for the people to push it on and off stage that needed to push it on and off stage.
So in a lot of cases, there's this element of illusion.
Yes, very much so. In the prop department, you build a lot of stuff that's fake that looks real.
So you look for some pretty weird stuff, like I see a Victrola over there.
Yeah, we had gramophones. We have 5 gramophones for My Fair Lady, and they look real from the stage, but they're just boxes of wood. One of the more interesting pieces that we have is the car that we use in Greece. This is an actual working car. It runs. We drive it for the show. When it comes out for the first part of the show, it looks like a rust bucket. And then when they fix it up, we add these magnetic strips to it to make it look like it's been painted.
Old 54 Pontiac.
Yeah, 54 Pontiac.
With fuzzy dice.
Mm-hmm. Always have fuzzy dice in the window.
And what would musical theater be without costumes?
And here you have the footman's costume from My Fair Lady, made specifically for this actor. When he auditioned, we measured him and sent off the measurements to Kansas City Costume. Now, all of our costumes are made in Kansas City. There's very few costume houses left in the United States, and we have found we really like the quality of Kansas City. So this was made specifically for this actor, for Gary, and it was shipped to us last Thursday. It measured on him, and we do all the fittings. And this whole rack of costumes specifically made for that one actor. And then when we're finished, we send them back off to Kansas City and go on with the next show.
It's the magic of theater, created by dozens of professionals working behind the scenes so that when the lights come up and the music begins, thousands of people are transported from their daily lives to an enchanting world of illusion.
The trick is to do a show that the audience has expectations of, and then when they come, to exceed their expectations. If we can do that, we're a home run. And we do it.